Hello and welcome to episode 4 of Thoughts with Fara. Today I want to talk about alien weaponry. Now, when you mean by alien weaponry, you hear you saying Fara. Well, currently we have 3 factions of the game: Terra Republic, NC, New Conglomerate and Vanu Sovereignty. And Vanu Sovereignty are the sort of alien-ish faction who emulate a lot of ancient Vanu stuff. So let's go into game and we'll show. Here I am on a Vanu Sovereignty character and I'm using conventional arms weaponry, bullets, ammo, that type of stuff. Whereas they also have access to fancy alien guns. Oh, look at this lasher. Boom, 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 boom. It's really, really entertaining. It's a unique flair to the Vanu Sovereignty. And then the ammunition and the mechanics of the reloading is unique to the VS. It's quite cool. I mean, the general principle, though, is kind of the same. I fire multiple rounds down range and they're glowy and the light effect and that type of stuff. Now, however, the caveat here is that is limited to only the Vanu Sovereignty. Unlike in Planetside 1, when you could loot other people's inventory, which is a topic for another day, you can't do that here. So the NC and the TR don't necessarily have access to this ancient technology or ancient elements of it, which would be kind of cool. Now, in Planetside 1, there were elements known as alien or ancient weaponry. Now, how do you get these things? Well, I will show you briefly. In Planetside 1, and without going into too much detail, there were caverns, basically enclosed elements. Give me 2 seconds here. I'm just going to turn my in-game sound off. There we go. Where you could go into a cavern, and then you go along these little zip lines you see, and then in the center of the cavern were modules. You get the module, you would charge it, you take it out of the cavern, you'd go into a base and you'd upgrade it. So essentially it's a base upgrade mechanics. Now you wouldn't have cameras in Planetside 2, but you would have base upgrades, whether it be outfit upgrades or things that they're currently working on. Now, there were 3 ancient weapons. Now the first one was the spiker, and the spiker is just like any handgun you have in Planetside 2, where you charge it and it has a glowy ball and it does a whole bunch of damage when you fire it downrange. Is it any different to what we currently have right now with our kind of a big firing pistol? It's probably not, no, but it is a cool sort of alien-ish animation style. Look, it's different. It's a unique look thing. It's not the main reason we're doing it. Now, the heavy assault gun, so the equivalent of the MCG, the Lasher and whatnot, was known as the Maelstrom. The Maelstrom here was a 2-fire mechanic. One, it would fire a lightning beam stream, so like a lightning kind of beam stream kind of going at the enemy, and it was like a constant hold down beam pattern. So it wasn't like a rapid fire, it was just a constant beam that you would just click and follow the target and you would do damage and have the kind of that lightning effect, and everything went into the beam would take damage. That was cool, and we don't have a system like that currently in Planetside 2. It had an alternate secondary fire mode where it could fire kind of orb balls of energy at the target and it would kind of explode or detonate when it kind of got there. That was kind of cool. I actually really liked that mechanic. And then the third one, which was my most favorite, is known as the Radiator, and this is an area denial weaponry. So it would fire a small dart, and the sticky projectile would fly in a straight line with no bullet drop until it finally hit something, and then it would balloon into a 360 sphere that would create a pain field in this sort of bubble, and that pain field would last, I don't know, so many seconds basically until it would run out. So when you had a radiator, you just go tap, 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 and you just create this kind of pain field area where the enemy can quite happily go through that area, but it will slowly impact their health and kind of drain them down. Now, you wouldn't necessarily be killing anyone with the radiator, but you'd be annoying, and it would be kind of fun. Or you could do area denial, or maybe there's a cap area, or maybe there's a terminal and you want to prevent someone from hacking it because it'll take damage. Use the radiator. We can't necessarily have that. We might have grenades and splash and things like that, but we don't have an area denial tool right now. So these are like examples of ancient weaponry that existed originally in Planetside 1, probably wouldn't be too technically challenging to introduce to Planetside 2, but that's up for the developers to design, but it's not something we currently have. As I say, we only have Vanu-style weaponry with laser weapons, which don't have gimmicks or extra features or functionality that can be shared across all 3 factions. So that is what I wanted to showcase to you today. If you have topics, things you want to talk about, or you want to talk more in detail and give me some feedback on what you think about special weaponry that would be available to everyone, that'd be really cool, because I'm not saying these guns would be immediately available for everyone. I'm thinking it would be more meaningful or interesting if there was some sort of upgrade mechanic. Sometimes you upgrade a base, or you got some element, or you built something in a base construction, you had a module or something like that, where you could meaningfully upgrade and then get these unique items from an equipment terminal that you wouldn't normally be able to get unless you did something and make it special, make it meaningful, and have fun with them. Because that's where these things were pretty awesome, because you had to do a lot of effort to get them, and once you got them, you're like, oh yeah, pew pew pew. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye bye.